Yesterday we managed to hit the Gibb and it certainly was not as rough as we were expecting it to be. However, the road out to Kalumbaroo, definitely rough. We did find that the way out looked a little bit softer than the way back to the Gibb. That looked a hell of a lot rougher. Corrugations looked a bit bigger. So last night we rigged up the data logger and we've got all the G sensors ready to go. We're going to hit that road and we're going to find a really rough patch and we're going to profile it. Because all the products that we have in the group, we're going to be looking at rear bars, roof racks and bull bars and seeing what G response we get on those rough roads. Then we're going to head back to the Gibb and head down to Broome.
We're just doing some checking, making sure these are regulatory size, you know. Out here on these roads, they get away from you and you got a bad corrugation, bad. Now we're just getting a large sample size of all the corrugations. We're just very interested to know how far apart they are, how tall they are, if they're staggered, if they're in line, and then we can go back to the lab and replicate it there.
Everything else in. We make your suspension on an ink caravan. We would love to have a look at it. I know you made it. I like it. So you're going to do something with it? Or?
Yeah, they're just grabbing the food.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we were just pulling up to get the data logging running in one of the vehicles and saw a JB coming down the road and thought we might ask the owners whether they'd mind if we just hop underneath and have a look how their suspension going, because we're keen to see, based off how many kilometres people are doing, what the state of the suspension is like. This was 9,000 kilometres since its last service, been on the road for quite a bit, so just to kind of swing the torque wrench underneath and to see how everything's travelling.
Pulled up and they're going to do some tests. I was like, oh, this is perfect opportunity, I'll make a coffee. No, didn't happen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I appreciate everything you've done.
No problem.
Booking your service when we're in the West End, coming off it.
There's certainly some loose bolts under there. Credit to them, they're checking their wheel nuts every night, which is fantastic, but there were some loose shock bolts underneath. Our recommendation is if you're driving these types of roads where it is pretty rough, you're checking those things more often. Potentially you need a minor service halfway through your trip or something like that, if we can book one into someone like Mark up at Kununurra, and then that makes sure you're pretty solid all the way through.
So here we are measuring the input vibrations to the bull bar, so that when we get back we can get the shaker table going, see if we can somewhat match frequency and accelerations in a controlled environment. So same line, give us 80. That's far less than 60. 1.7, 2.7, okay. We got higher peaks.
That's what Andrew was saying.
We can get
Oh, service anti-lock brake system. We've got all of the full drive system unavailable.
We've damaged something.
Service trailer brake system, trailer brake disconnected.
Succeeded in
No four-wheel drive, no ABS.
Out here, some of these big Rams just can't quite handle these Australian conditions. You know, if this was an 80 or 100 series, the only thing we'd be worried about would be topping up the washer bottle fluids.
And whatever we shook out, it shook back in.
Please note that all calls may be recorded.
Awesome.
Yeah, I know. It's a good one.
Yeah, I was pretty much just going to say, there's not much I'm going to be able to do from you from all the way over there.
I cleared those codes.
And check where the sensor goes on, where it jams that cable.
And the car's fixing itself again for the moment.
do need this. It's quite important.
Yeah, it kind of was. As soon as I'd sanity checked and like my mirrors that it wasn't one off the axle, I was okay with it. Then it became funny. Chasing it down the road. That's funny. Okay. You want to grab it, I'll bring the car up to wherever it stops.
It's still going. Been a pretty big day. I was just thinking about what I wanted to speak about as we got into this video, and it's been massive. So we started off coming out of our campsite from last night, spent a bit of time at the side of the road on a particularly rough bit of corrugations, and we got the data loggers out and got some really good information out of that. From there, the ram had a bit of a conniption as we were doing about 80 kilometers an hour repeatedly over these corrugations, had a dash full of lights, so we spent a bit of time trying to fix that. Couldn't find anything obvious, cleared some codes, and it seems to have fixed itself. So we did the rest of the day without any more problems with the ram. And carrying on from there, we had the wheel fall off the back of the ram. I've never had that before. I have no idea how it happens, because the wheel's like at 90 degrees to the way we were traveling. It fell off and all of a sudden it overtook us down the road. You wouldn't believe it. And then coming in here to Bell Gorge for a camp tonight, I was not expecting the road to be that rough. It was the worst road we've been on so far. So I absolutely feel like we've finally had the Gibb River Road experience.
Good view.